What's up, good people? It's Frank Financial Brown, one of the founders of Live Free, Give Hope, the real estate giveaway company. Oh, I just had a great workout. Told you guys I'm turned up. You know, after this last giveaway, it really has ignited something in me that, you know, it's just that belief. It's that faith. It's when you know that you can change the world, that you are really doing something. I've been giving you guys the insight on myself since I started Live Free. And one of the things that you guys may have heard me mention or may have not is that I'm regular like everybody else. Same black story that you hear from most folks. Single mama, grew up in the hood, all of the same stuff, right? So just about a week ago, I got in contact with my biological father. It's been 24 years since we spoke. And my half brother actually hit me up, and it's from this Live Free, from putting myself out there. A family member saw me and reached out to me and said, "Hey, your half brother wants to get in contact with you." And I was like, cool. So we did that. And then my half brother put me in contact with my biological father. Right. So let me talk about trauma real quick. Now, when I was younger, I was upset. I was upset that I didn't have a father, yada, yada, yada. Y'all know the story. But being a father myself and being a grown man and going through everything that I've gone through has really shown me that I'm not mad at nobody. And especially, you guys may have heard me mention that my mom was 15 when she had me, or maybe turning 16. No, she was 15. And my father, he was 19. And you guys may have be in the same situation to where, let's say your father wasn't there. But now that I'm 45 years old, I could not be mad at a 19-year-old for being a 19-year-old, for not being a grown man, for not being whatever. You know, I don't even know the term to put there. But if you are struggling with any kind of trauma because your mom or your dad or this person wasn't there, or you believe that this person wronged you, let all that go. I know it's easier said than done. I let my son, who's 19, could you imagine my son being a father at 19? That's one reason I could not be mad at my biological father. After raising kids all this time and being 45 and realizing I really didn't have my stuff together till I was about 35. So how could I be angry at essentially a child? At 19, you can't even rent a car. How could I be mad at that? So where I'm going with that is, if you are letting trauma, something that happened to you in your life, stop you from your greatness, you got to let that go. I know it's easier said than done. Now, I'm coming out the gym. I used to work at it. For you guys that's in Atlanta, I used to work at Lifetime Fitness. It's a high-end gym, and I loved it. So I just had a great workout. I'm happy to be back in the gym. But one of the reasons I'm back in the gym and I'm turning it up so hard is because I spoke to my biological father, and he let me know that he was on dialysis starting at 55. And I think he's 64 now, and he had to have a kidney replacement. Well, I believe that the hypertension is hereditary in our family, because when I was 21, I was diagnosed with high blood pressure, and I've had it ever since. I've been on medication. I've been through all of the tests, the ultrasounds that they do. They've done all kind of things over the years, but I really never took it as seriously as I'm taking it now. I don't want to have no stroke. I'm not too fearful of death, but I don't want to have no stroke. This is one reason that I'm definitely turning it up with Live Free, Give Hope. Just in case, let's say I only have a few years left. Now, I'm sure you guys have been in the same place where you probably could have died multiple times in your life. If you lived a wild life, if you've done some of the things that a lot of young folks do, you probably could not be here. So, where I'm going with that is that I'm not taking anything for granted. my daughter, she plays tennis at Howard University, and I'm going up there this weekend. I will try to make everything I can. Guys, I'm going to start living life. I'm going to go harder and harder with Live Free, just in case I'm only here for a few more years. You know, I hope this ain't getting nobody down. I hope this inspires you. I'm going to go back to it for the folks that just jumped on. If you got trauma, if you grew up with no mama or daddy, or somebody wronged you, or, you know, this person may have been abusive to you. I'm 45. I realize that most folks younger than me that I know, they ain't got it here. We grow over time. We mature. So I could not, and my pops, my biological father, Big Frank, if you watch this, and my little brother, all my family, I am not mad at nobody. I'm not mad at nobody, because I understand. I had my kids at, I think I was 24, and I was still just a baby. You can't even rent a car till you're 25, but we got folks out here having kids, you know, but we expect them to be super ass adults or super mature or handle their responsibilities like we would think that people are supposed to. But that ain't how it is. Guys, I could be dead or in jail easily. I could state the times. I'm not going to tell you because I don't know if, what do they call that? If the time has passed, you know, but I could easily be in jail. I could easily be dead right now. So just in case, my daughter was like, hey, daddy, you don't have to come to the match this weekend because we have another in April. Well, April ain't promised, guys. April is not promised. And for me, with my high blood pressure, my stuff is ridiculous. Like stroke level. I take medication. I'm turning it up at the gym even more. For you guys that know, I used to work at a gym, so luckily there was a few years where I was in shape. You know, I took care of myself. But the last few years I kind of fallen off. But I'm back. I'm about to hop on the phone with the attorneys at 1:00 so we can discuss the next giveaway. January's already halfway over. I was planning on getting started February 1st, but that's a little close. So it may be February 14th. I may drop it for Valentine's Day. I may drop it March 1st. Before I go, I'm gonna let you guys know that the winner. So another great thing that she's blessing the winner circle with is that we were going to turn the basement into, it's already set up for a laundromat, but we haven't put any washers and dryers in there. But she actually has a washer and dryer that basically she's donating to the business. We're going to be able to allow it. So anybody that's there, we're going to have washers and dryers in the basement, in the laundry room. Let's not call it the basement. But yeah, so if you have any trauma, you know, if you're blaming anybody for your lack of success, I'm going to tell you, let that go, you know. And one more thing. So when I was talking to my biological father yesterday, I was telling him about Live Free, Give Hope and some of my vision, my goal for Live Free, Give Hope. And I actually like this phrase that he used. He said, that's a tough nut to crack. And it's been a long time since I had anyone tell me that something's going to be difficult, you know, because I've been on my own. I'm an introvert. I'm really not out there. I really don't associate with a lot of people. So everything that I come up with, even Live Free, Give Hope and buying this $1 million real estate portfolio and everything that I've done, I really haven't had anybody in my life tell me that something's going to be difficult. But let me tell you, that does not bother me. You know what I'm saying? If it ain't difficult, I shouldn't be doing it. If it's not difficult, my goal is not high enough. You know, if everybody could do it, if everybody could do it, then it's really not worth it. You know, it's like, I can't think of any examples right now, but if everybody's doing it, it's too easy. So a tough nut to crack, call me the nutcracker. You know what I'm saying? Call your boy the nutcracker. That's all I got for you guys today. And if anybody, even out of love, if they tell you something is going to be difficult, I tell my kids, lean into it. You know, you guys may have heard me say my kids were born 10 weeks early. I believe they're autistic. You know what I'm saying? They somewhere on the spectrum, and that's okay. But they're both in college. You know, when they were in 3rd grade, they called me and my wife into the office and said that your kids ain't learning nothing. They said, we can tell your kids this, and they believe the exact opposite, or they'll say something, but they basically told us that if our kids were going to stay in school, they were going to be in special ed. They were going to be in these different programs. And luckily, at this time, my real estate portfolio was shaken. We had the 3-unit that we lived in. We cut our overhead, didn't have any bills, and then we bought the 6-unit. So I went and we pulled the kids out of school at that point. So I was able to homeschool my kids until basically high school. So if a school tells you, and this was our case, that they really can't educate your children, it is tough for them. I know a lot of teachers, and these are just humans. It's not like teachers are superhumans. So to put 30 kids in a room with one teacher, and then you have so many different levels of students, it's tough. Your children can get left behind. And this is why I'm an advocate of real estate, because the real estate allowed me to pull the children out of school, and one person with this mindset is able to educate those 2 kids. Now they're both in college. They're twins. They're both in college. One is at Howard, one is at Morgan, So if any kind of trauma that you may have, any kind of excuses, some people call excuses reasons, whatever it may be, go ahead and it's hard to say let that go, but because I know it's tough, but work through it. Do what you can to work through it. And if you need some help, if you want to talk about it, I'm not a therapist or anything, but I've been through it. Guys, my daughter asked me, why am I the individual to create Live Free? Why isn't LeBron? Why isn't Oprah? Why aren't these people doing these type of things? Well, I've come through a certain path, to lead me to this point. Everybody has their own life experiences to lead them to this point, to wherever they are. Wherever you are, make it happen. Make it happen. Don't the excuses and all that. Just make it happen, and it's a tough nut to crack, but somebody got to crack it. You guys will hear me say multiple times that I was alive when Amazon was selling used textbooks, when Amazon was buying and selling used textbooks. Before they ruled the world, before Jeff Bezos ruled the world, he was selling used textbooks and buying used textbooks. So if anybody would have told him, hey, you got these plans, even if they love you, they may be telling you this to help you from the upsets of failure. And what I told my biological father, I only remember one time in my life where I failed, not lost. There's been plenty of losses, but there's only been one time that I failed. And I'll tell you guys what that was. I was in the Army, and I was enlisted, and they had a program to where you could become an officer. You can go to the West Point Prep, but you had to score a 19 on the ACT, or you had to score whatever on the SAT. I took the ACT because they told me it was easier. I scored a 14 on that ACT, and I failed. I went home and I cried. Instead of buckling down and studying and turning it around and raising my score, I just went home, I cried, and I gave up, and I stayed enlisted. That was the only failure that I remember in my life. Everything else has been a tough nut to crack, and I've cracked all those things. Buying the real estate, going back to school, becoming a personal trainer, being married for 20 plus years. That's a tough nut to crack. I cracked that thing. This high blood pressure. Oh, I'm cracking this thing, guys. So that's all I got for today. I'm not going to hop on here and preach. The next giveaway, I'm shooting for Valentine's Day. That would be a great gift to give you guys. So I'm going to shoot for Valentine's Day. If not Valentine's Day, it's definitely still going down. I'm about to hop on the phone with the attorneys and figure this thing out. It was good talking to you guys, and I will hop on here tomorrow at 11. Peace.